Hello everyone, my name is Kamal and welcome to Whisper on Akash. This project tries to deploy the OpenAI's Whisper speech recognition model on Akash network with a user-friendly radio interface, thereby enabling our users to transcribe and translate speech using OpenAI's Whisper model in a scalable GPU accelerated environment. So this is OpenAI's Whisper model, which is an automatic speech recognition system trained on 680,000 hours of multilingual and multitask supervised data collected from the web. And this is their whole architecture of how they are doing it. So I decided to let's deploy this model on Akash network for bringing in the following features like speech recognition for multiple languages, GPU accelerated for faster inference, easy to use web interface, and file upload system. So here is how I went it through. So I created an app.py file where I imported the Whisper and Gradio. And then first I loaded the model on startup. I tried to load the Whisper model and then I transcribed the audio. And finally, once we have transcribed the audio using Whisper model, I decided to create a Gradio interface in order for the users to easily interact on the UI with the model. And I have created a Docker file finally, and this Docker file imports the Whisper model and makes it available to Akash. And finally, I have created an SDL. This is one of the output files inside Akash as an example. And finally, I've created this SDL file, which I've utilized in order to deploy. Here is the Docker file that I have built and published on Docker Hub, which is Whisper Akash. And this is utilized on the SDL where I have created OpenAI Whisper and I'm utilizing the Docker image here. And finally, I've created a deployment, which, as you can see, confirmed deployment creation, and then I confirmed with all these GPU requirements, and then I've created the and waiting for the bits. Here are more of the deployment details where I have created here the Gradio server name and interface for an easy UI where users could do operations. Now discussing about the architecture diagram. So on the client side, the users can do operations with the system in two ways: using microphone for real-time access with real-time speech recognition, or uploading pre-recorded audio files inside the web browser. And our core of the architecture that we have deployed on the Akash network is the Docker container, which has a Gradio web interface for easy access, and a Whisper model for the speech recognition. And we have CUDA GPU support for accelerated GPU inference, and Python runtime for processing everything real time. For the storage, we have two different types of storage implemented. Like first is the model cache for storing the Whisper model files, and then we have a temporary audio files for processing this efficient processing with good performance. Then we have optimized our resource for the good deployment where we have GPU 1 unit, CPU, RAM, and storage as follows. This is optimized for good performance. Now in terms of the deployment process is very straightforward. Users come out here and they deploy using our SDL service definition language. Akash provisions the resources and the container initializes the Whisper model and CUDA for GPU. Then the users can immediately access the web interface. The system then continuously processes audio inputs and returns the transcriptions and the translations. So this is how the data flow inside our architecture looks like. So user inputs his audio, then on the browser within the Gradio interface, then the audio data goes to the Whisper model and it processes with the Whisper, then it returns, the GPU returns with the transcription and it displays the result to the user. And in terms of technical benefits, this accelerator provides several key benefits like GPU acceleration for faster processing, scalable deployment on a cache network, persistent storage for reliable operation, real-time processing capabilities with support for multiple audio input methods. Thank you so much for watching.